Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your bonus reading for October 2025. We're going to open up the energy of today's reading with the Moth Spirit. And it says, surrender now. Okay. What is it that we need to surrender to in our lives? And what do we need to ourselves surrender? Okay. Let's find out. Let's see how that energy is going to carry us through our reading today. We're going to use the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. Surrender now. We have a Page of Swords, an Ace of Pentacles, Two of Swords, the Sun card. Very nice. Ace of Swords, clarity. Yeah, a lot of clarity. A lot of decisions being made. We have an Emperor, Four of Wands, some closure, some completion. Ten of Wands here. We have a Knight of Swords. And finally, the Nine of Pentacles. Very, very good. This is going to be a harvest coming in for a lot of you. Okay? I feel like we're making a lot of changes. And I feel like those changes are going to have very, very positive results. Okay? You're making changes. You're surrendering to something. And you are yourself surrendering something. That's going to make your life easier. It's going to bring you to your goals even faster. That's going to bring more of this harvest energy in. Okay? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor, infinite and unknown. We're just going to set it down right over here with our little Tibetan prayer wheel right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down beneath the video. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see two majors. Okay. We've got fire and fire. We have no water in the reading. We've got air and air and air and air, and we've got earth and earth. So why is there no water? Well, I wonder if part of the reason is that, we're overdoing it, okay? That we are, we're filling up our plate with too much activity, too much obligation, too many responsibilities, too many commitments, too much ambition. Okay, that we're not letting in enough rest, enough recuperation. It could be part of our Two of Swords. Learning balance. Okay, learning when to strive, when to push ourselves harder, and when to just relax. Okay. Well, let's start with our Page of Swords. Curiosity. This is going to be a month of asking questions, trying to learn, trying to discover, trying to study, paying attention to messages, paying attention to, the signs and symbols of the universe, paying attention to your own body, paying attention to your own mind, and paying attention to your heart. Where is that emotional awareness right now? Okay. The Page of Swords is paying attention to messages from the universe, paying attention to signs, symbols, and synchronicities. I feel with this Ace of Pentacles, you're being given the gift of an exit. Some of you are being given a way out of something that has been really, really overburdening you. Okay. So you got to pay attention to the signs so that you can see on this freeway where your exit is. Some of you, that Ace of Pentacles is going to be us beginning something new. You've got to pay attention to the on-ramps also, to know what things we want to start. We've got to ask questions. We got to explore ideas. We got to have an open mind. You've got to stay alert. Opportunities, right? Aces of Pentacles. Opportunities are hiding in plain sight right now. You've got to be able to see those when they arrive. And what's arriving is Ace of Pentacles, new opportunity, for stability, a new opportunity for some material growth. The gain of the Nine of Pentacles. There's an opportunity for a harvest. Okay? If this is prosperity, the Ace is the seed of prosperity. Okay? So this may be, for some of you, a chance to begin something that really is going to bring you a lot of value. You know, whether it's a new job or a new side hustle or a new project, a new relationship maybe, a new journey, a new piece of equipment even, right? A new tool. Something that's going to make your life easier and something that's going to bring you a lot of benefit, a lot of profit. Okay? Something that's going to add value to your life. This is also the gift of an exit, to get rid of something that has been making your life more difficult, to get rid of something that is more of a liability than an asset, to exit out of something that has not been adding value to your life, but has been eating up value. Okay? This is a card also of small, steady steps toward what will be your long-term security. So it's a month of being very practical, being very focused. You're laying the foundations for something more long-term. It's not about quick wins. This is trusting that what you begin now is going to have lasting results. I feel like you're making some big changes, because I feel like you are getting rid of liabilities, and you're investing in new assets. You're planting more seeds for things that are going to grow and add value to your life, and you're getting rid of things that have just been a waste, that have just been overburdening. Okay? Things that have just been nothing but bricks in your backpack. So I feel like there's a lot of that discernment going on right now, a lot of changes that are being made, a lot of little decisions, a lot, not like big changes, but not one big change, but like a lot of little ones that are really making a difference. It is that wisdom and discernment of the Two of Swords. Okay? Two of Swords down here is that choice. Don't avoid the choice, you know. Don't keep things in limbo. It's like we're being called upon to take advantage of these opportunities, to select things that we're going to keep, things that we're going to continue to do, or new things that we're going to do, and then selecting things that we're going to stop doing, things that we're going to say no to. Okay? We need more balance in our life, so there could be way too much on your plate, too many activities, too many commitments, too many obligations. We may need a little bit of balance. It's time to weigh your options honestly and then move forward with clarity. It's time to balance your logic with your intuition. It's time to balance your ambition with your needs, right? The needs of your body, your heart, and your mind. So balance, I think, is a really big key. And striving for clarity, being able to make those decisions about, we're kind of culling the herd a little bit. Okay, we want to take advantage of those things that are going to bring us prosperity, but we also want to exit out of those things that are doing nothing for us but just being a weight on our back. So this is going to be a good time for that, Virgo. A good time for these decisions, these small choices that lead to the biggest results, the big changes that are made up of all these little changes, you know? The Sun card is here too. This is a card of joy, vitality, and clarity. The sun is shining brightly on your life right now. I feel like success is really within reach for a lot of you. And it's just a matter of making the right choices now. Okay? Celebrate your progress. Celebrate the win. Confidence, right? That's growing. It's your ability to trust your decisions and to move boldly forward with that clarity in those decisions. This is you focusing on happiness, focusing on balance and focusing on vitality, focus on like what is really going to keep you like robust, and healthy, not just physically, but spiritually as well. You're bringing a lot of things into the light. You're bringing every part of your life, you're bringing it under the spotlight. And you're making decisions that are going to lead to your well-being. Okay? It's a time of clarity. It's a time of seeing the truth and acting on that truth. Okay? I think that a lot of you are making decisions that are going to make your life better, add value to your life, add more vitality to your life, and really just like increase your happiness, That's the name of the game right now. And for that, we need the clarity of the Ace of Swords. Okay? Remember the moth spirit. Don't forget the moth spirit. Surrender now. Surrender means we're giving up things, we're surrendering it, right? We're letting go of it. Okay? And I kind of feel like that's going to be the big ticket. It's not so much about what new things are we going to start doing, but what things are we going to stop doing because we no longer need to do them. The Ace of Swords is clarity. In this month, there will be clarity, a breakthrough of truth, okay? That's going to clear the way. New ideas are forming, okay? And I think that we really need to take stock. We need to take an inventory. We need to be honest. We need to make firm decisions, okay? Your honesty is going to show you the way. Clarity right now is a gift, and you're using this gift to cut through anything that is making your life more difficult, weighing you down, anything that's like a liability, anything that is making your life unnecessarily challenging. We're looking at, I don't know, like you're looking at the new toaster and you're thinking, does that make my life easier or more difficult? Well, sometimes it just makes it more difficult because I don't know how to use the thing, right? So it's like, I'm just going to use the old toaster. But some things are convenience things. Some things it's, maybe it's cost me money to buy it, but it makes my life easier. And so I want it. I'm going to keep it. And maybe we extend this to other activities, not just objects, but, behaviors. Maybe we even extend this to people. Having particular friends in your life, do they make your life easier or unnecessarily challenging? Do they add value to your life? Or are they siphoning away your joy and happiness and all of that vital energy? Okay. You use this clarity as a gift to cut through the nonsense and see things exactly as you need to see them so you can make the decisions that you need to make. I feel like you're making some changes this month, Virgo. I feel like things are going to look a lot different. I feel like you're trying to just kind of like economize, like streamline, trying to make your life more efficient and trying to be as happy and as successful as you can. And if something is kind of getting in the way of that, we need to look at it. And the Emperor, I think, is really good at doing that. The Emperor has self-control. The Emperor has authority. The Emperor is a leader of their own life, And I think this month you've got to be the Emperor. You've got to realize that you have control over your life, that you're the one creating structure and order. You're the one making decisions. You're the one that has to give your life a very clear direction. You're stepping into that with confidence. There's discipline, there's routine. Okay? And there's a stability that you're building. You're protecting something, you're protecting your resources, time, effort, energy, money, space. Okay? The Emperor is responsible for all of those resources, and you have to protect those. Okay? Through your discipline, through your decisions, and through like not being manipulated by other people, not being too loosey-goosey with your boundaries and your rules, you know. Your decisions must be firm. You're showing a very steady authority. And in a way, you're leading by example, too. Okay? That's the name of the game for this month, okay? Because I wonder if, you know, in some ways, some of your resources have started flowing out too freely. Maybe the Ace of Pentacles is that we've said yes to too many things. And now it's time to dial it back. You know, maybe you want to say no. This or some of the things that you've said yes to, you're going to start to kind of reverse that and say, well, you know what, I changed my mind. Or we're going to start saying no to more things, or we're going to realize how we need to streamline our life just so we can have an easier go of it. So we can feel better, so we can have more time. You know, the Nine of Pentacles, this is somebody with a lot of time, effort, energy, money, and space. Look at all the space they have. They've got land, they've got pets, they've got their plants, their people are around here somewhere. They've got plenty of grapes, right? And they got sunny skies. I mean, it's really good. You have an abundance. You can't have abundance if you're you know, kind of using it all up. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't share. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't be generous with your harvest. But I think that, you know, we need to also be, we also need to protect what we've built, okay? And I'm not so sure that this is like, you know, that you've got to stop sharing what you have. I think it's more about like, don't keep taking on too many new things or too many new responsibilities unless you are convinced that it's a wise investment or that it's an asset rather than a liability. Okay? The Four of Wands, closure, completion. Sometimes the Four of Wands is about us shutting the door and saying, you know, the free-for-all that's been going on is over. Okay? I think some of you are reaching a milestone this month that is kind of, it's saying, okay, now I just want to enjoy. I've said yes to a bunch of stuff. I'm getting all that stuff done. And now I just want to enjoy what I've got. You know, I want to stay home. I want to be with my family. I want joy and harmony and connection. I don't just want more obligations. You know, maybe this is a time of resting in the comfort of what we're creating. Yeah. Seems to be a message a lot of us are getting this time of year, you know. You've been very productive. You've said yes to a lot of things. Now it's time to make some other decisions, make some big changes. Maybe we're entering a period of more rest and relaxation, enjoying what we've built rather than just trying to build more. Recognize how far you've come and pause at least to honor the stability, to spend time at home. This card is sometimes a welcome home energy. You might be saying that you're building so much and accomplishing so much, but you're never really there to experience it or enjoy it or indulge in it. Even the Nine of Pentacles, that little snail at the bottom saying, slow down. Maybe this card is saying you've accomplished enough for right now. Do make choices that will make your life easier right now instead of more difficult. It doesn't mean that you have to quit your job or take a vacation. I mean, unless you want to. But I think it's really a way of saying, like, don't just keep taking more stuff onto your plate just because. That if anything wants to jump onto your plate, you're going to ask it some questions first. You're going to say, what are you doing for me? Like, why do you want to be on my plate? Why should I let you onto my plate? That's all. You're not saying no to everything. You're just being very discerning about what things you allow onto your plate. Okay? This might be a good time for you to gather with other people, share your happiness, share your harvest. Okay? But you be there to partake of it too. strengthen the bonds with the people around you. It's not necessarily a time for the 10 of Wands, which feels like way too many responsibilities, heavy burden on your shoulders. You've got to be honest about whether this is too much, whether you're so booked up that you have no time to enjoy your friends, your family, or your harvest. You might be carrying burdens that aren't even yours to hold. This is maybe a good month to delegate, share, or simplify tasks to avoid exhaustion. That new toaster, is it adding value to your life? Is it making your life easier? Is it giving you 30 seconds of free time? It's worth it. Is it making toast a much more complicated meal to prepare? Maybe you don't need the fancy toaster. You know, what would life look like if it were easier? What would life look like if it had less obligations? How could you maybe free up a little bit of your energy in life? You know, do we need to share the burden, let somebody else carry some of it? Do we need to delegate, outsource? Do we need to just say, I surrender that. I don't need that. I'm surrendering the toaster. It doesn't make my life easier. It makes my life more complicated. Sometimes simplicity is the way to go. Now, I told a story the other day on this channel. I don't remember what sign, but I got all this new equipment for my studio. I got this cloud pod thing from Black Magic. I got all these wires. I got this hard drive. I got this switcher thing. And I was thinking, maybe I can save myself 10 or 20 minutes a day with all this new equipment. And so I put a lot of time into running the wires and setting everything up. And you know what? It didn't work. It didn't work. And that's fine that it didn't work. The realization was, that was a silly project because it wasn't really going to save me that much time anyway. It would have been a lot more trouble than it was worth. You know, it wasn't actually going to make my life easier. I thought it was cool. I like gadgets. I like, complexity. I like systems. I like electronics and technology and stuff. So it was fun to do it. But at the end of the day, Spirit said, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? It was just a bunch of junk sitting over here next to my tarot table. It wasn't actually going to save me any time. In fact, it would have made my life more complicated. Maybe I would have saved 5 minutes here and there. Maybe. It wasn't worth the complexity. And so I think we have to be very discerning, because it may seem like a good idea, but at the end of the day, it's just more work. It's more work, more things to go wrong, more things to take care of, more things to be responsible for. Very little benefit. Not worth the investment, not worth the maintenance, not worth the responsibility. Okay? Now, you've got the Knight of Swords, and so this is really important here too, because the Knight of Swords is like, sometimes we think we have a good idea and we rush into it, like I did with my whole cloud storage system thing that I did. I had a good idea. Aha! I jumped into it. Spent the money, bought the stuff on Amazon. Well, now I had to send it all back. So I wasted a lot of time. I really did. And I thought maybe it was going to work out, but now that I realize it didn't even work anyway, and if it did, what was the best case scenario? I would have saved 5 minutes, maybe a day. Who cares? Why is it worth the extra power it was going to draw from my electrical outlet for 5 minutes a day? It wasn't a good trade-off. So the Knight of Swords here is about us being very careful with something that may seem like a good idea, and we rush into it, and we realize that we're just complicating our lives, and it's not giving us any more joy. It's not making life any easier. It's not relieving us of any burden. Now, if it was something that maybe if it worked a different way, it would have automated something. Maybe it would have transferred files and I wouldn't have to touch it or something. Maybe that would have been good. It didn't work that way. Okay. So this could be very impulsive decisions that may cause just more conflict, more complexity. So we need that wisdom and that discernment. We need to really consider what the effects are of our choices right now. We need clarity. We need to make choices. We have to make sure they're the right choices. Okay, we're either adding value to our life, or we're simplifying our life, or we're finding a way to free up some time, effort, energy, or money for ourselves. We're finding a way to slow down. We're finding a way to get more enjoyment out of the life we have without too much of a new kind of investment, you see. The Nine of Pentacles, the harvest, the gain. What are you gaining through your choices? Through the things you say yes to, the things you say no to. What are you gaining? The Nine of Pentacles is literally called gain. Okay? What are you gaining and what are you surrendering? Are you surrendering a little bit of money every month, but your life is going to be a lot easier and you're going to have more free time? Okay. Well, that's the question. That's the comparison you have to make. Okay. Are you surrendering some of your free time because you have all these other obligations that you've said yes to? Is that a fair trade-off? Is that a wise decision? The Nine of Pentacles is usually a card of independence and self-sufficiency. This is about you enjoying the comfort and the security that you've created for your life. Okay? This is a moment to appreciate your accomplishments. This is luxury and abundance that are available to you. How do we take advantage of that? How do we actually enjoy this? The little snail, how do we slow down and enjoy the luxury and abundance that we've created? Your success comes not only from the achievement, but from the peace of mind. Two of Swords, a card called Peace. The card called, I'm sleeping like a baby at night. Okay? So are there choices that you can make this month, Virgo, that are going to give you a little more peace of mind, that are going to allow you to peacefully exist in your life? Is there some choice you can make that's going to minimize stress? That's going to increase convenience for you? Can you streamline a process? Can you get rid of obligations? Can you reduce complexity? How can you? This is peace and success. A successful life comes from not only what you're building and how much of it you have, but your peace of mind, your ability to enjoy that. You can have all the abundance in the world, but if you're just stressed out with trying to take care of it all, you can't enjoy it. Sometimes it's just the simple things, the low maintenance things that we just get to really enjoy. Imagine if you had for me, we see all these people that have a bunch of cars or something, right? And to me, that would make me anxious because you have to take care of all those cars and you're worried about them getting scratched. You want to drive any of them. You got to insure them and whatever. You got to maintain them. You got to protect them. And it just feels like it's just stressful. I want simple pleasures, I want things that I don't have to get stressed out about. If I can't be at peace, if I can't feel peaceful, it's not worth it. So my thought, building that little system thing here, I thought maybe I'd give myself a little peace of mind or I'd buy myself a little bit of free time. It was stressful. It added stress to my life and it maybe would have given me 5 minutes. If it even worked, it would have given me maybe 5 minutes a day. It's not worth the stress that it was causing. The peace of mind is everything. Simple enjoyment. How can we make life easier? How can we bring ourselves more peace? Our decisions should bring us a little more peace. What do we need to surrender? Well, let's look at the mystery card. Kind of feeling a little Empress energy here, aren't you? Virgo, I want you to leave your prediction in the comments. We're going to take a look, see what this is. I want water energy. We don't have any, we need some. Let's have just a little bit of joy. The pleasures. I want a 6 or a 9 of cups. But we get a 7 of wands. This is defending something. This is feeling like we got to fight for something. This is stress. This is kind of like, we're outnumbered and we're trying to keep up the pace. We're trying to keep up with something. Maybe this is what we have to surrender. This is somebody who's standing their ground, refuses to surrender, and the moth is saying, surrender. Basically saying, this isn't your fight. This is just stressful. This is you fighting and burning calories for what? There isn't a good benefit for this. So it's kind of like surrendering is just like putting down this wand and saying, you know what, I don't need to fight for that. I don't need this. I don't need to do this, The challenge is, not every challenge needs you to fight it. And it may be that this is, feel like we have to stand our ground. We feel like we have to defend something. It's kind of like kind of reminds me of the Jing a little bit, That it's because we value certain things that then we've got to fight to protect those things. Because now there are other people that want those things, So in some ways, I kind of feel like this is us trying very, very diligently to maintain something or to even acquire something or to defend something. But that energy expenditure is preventing us from enjoying the thing anyway. So what's the point of defending it? Does that make sense? It's like you've built something, and now you've got to, instead of enjoying the thing you've built, you got to spend all your time making sure nothing happens to it. It's like you have all those cars. So instead of enjoying the cars, you're spending all your time worrying about the cars, insuring them, maintaining them, protecting them, and not driving them. So it's kind of like it cancels each other out. It's like, why? Why do that? Okay. So the way I'm looking at this card is that maybe this is a fight we don't need to be in. Maybe we've been holding on to something, fighting for something, trying to cling to something that we don't really benefit from anyway. Yeah. So how can we make those choices to surrender rather than fight? Is there an easier way to do it? Are we fighting for something that we're not even really caring about? We don't even enjoy it anyway. Okay. Instead of fighting and defending something, is there a way that we can just enjoy what we have? I don't know the answers to these questions. Sometimes that Seven of Wands is, that's us like, there's a challenge there, and I'm gonna figure this thing out. It's like me with that project, with that cloud pod and the drives and the switcher and the wires. It came to a point where I just wanted to get it to work. Even though in the back of my mind I realized that this isn't gonna save me any time. I'm not adding any value to my life. But yet there was something about it that I wanted to conquer it. I wanted to find the solution. I wanted to win, even though the win would have just been pointless anyway, And so even when the thing wasn't working, it didn't work the way I wanted it to, I was frustrated. And I was thinking, well, maybe I just need to send this back. I need to get a different switcher. Maybe I got the wrong cable. I'll try that. And then I just said, wait a minute, no. I'm fighting to win on something that the win isn't even going to benefit me. So for me, that's the example, surrendering that, just kind of saying, I don't even know why I'm fighting so hard for that. Because it's not going to do anything for me, Instead, I could have just been finding other ways, perhaps, to simplify my life. And now it's simple. I'm just going to take my drive over to the computer and plug it in. I don't need all these wires and fancy cloud thing and the transfers, no, simple is better. But sometimes we get caught up in that frustration that it's just like we can't let it defeat us. Even though winning isn't going to do anything for us anyway. We can't let it defeat. I can't let it win. It's silly. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. Click on the join button. That is right there down below. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do oracle cards. We will clarify love and money. And we'll spin the yes/no coin. Virgo, I thank you, I love you, and we are all in this together.